Hey everyone, I think I'm live. So happy International Mountain Day. Happy birthday to me. Woo! So I couldn't think of a better day to talk about some of our spring adventures that are coming up and what the back home journey is and all that kind of fun stuff um, on such a cool day, like International Mountain Day. Let's talk about going to the mountains, right? So I am just gonna play around with something real quick because I don't do YouTube live. In the comments or in the description of this, there's the link to Blue Side Yoga, and there's also a link to your free Warrior Mindset workbook. So if you haven't downloaded, I really recommend you download it. It's a great time of year to just kind of review your mindset, look at your goals, and see where you want to go in 2025. And it's always a fun thing to kind of do at the end of the year. So that's always a thing. So those are in the description below, and you can check that out at any time. So for everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Sarah. I'm the founder of Blue Side Adventures. And I help military veterans and first responders get their life together in like the most kind terms that I can say. This whole started for me when I was struggling with my own military service and my own law enforcement service. And I knew that I was dealing with stress and PTSD. And I had a lot of actual physical back pain and all that kind of stuff. And I figured that there was an easier way to help others and put everything that I learned together. And that is the culmination of what Blue Side Adventures does. So we have an online portion where you get to learn about the neuroscience behind stress, how it works with your body, how stress works with your body, how you can work through that. And then we come together, you'll hear me refer to a lot, and that's the 12-week online course. And while I wish everybody could go on an amazing adventure to Nepal, I know that's not always the case for everyone. So what I've developed is the back home journey, which is the online portion, and then the back home community, which is where we do live monthly meetups, we'll do yoga, we do mindfulness, we'll just do some kind of seminars on the latest neuroscience. And then that's part of the community. So you don't miss out on any of the stuff that we're doing. If you come on one of the adventures with me, you still do the 12-week journey. We have our own adventure community with just our small group. And then we go on that journey together. So part of this is where I'm going to talk about the journeys that we're doing this spring, and then just kind of tell you all about that stuff that's going on. So that is a little bit of what we are going to chat about today. Guys, bear with me. This will get easier as as things go on. So, okay, let's talk about what it looks like when you join the online journey here. So, you should be seeing this. If anyone can give me maybe a thumbs up if you see a separate screen, but it shows when you sign up for a journey or you sign up for an adventure or the back home journey, you're going to have a home screen and it's going to have all your products. So here is the back home journey, and this is our 12-week neuroscience-backed course. And this is where we go through phases where you explore stress, understand your individual response, and then discover strategies that work for you and how to deal with others, because let's face it, not everybody is going to put in the work to do this own healing journey. So you need to look at what is going on with other people too. So when you go into your dashboard, you'll go into your course and you'll have your course by week. And so these are some of the topics that we talk about, and then I'll just kind of show overall how they're broken down. And again, everybody that comes on an adventure or you're part of the online community, you get this program. This is our foundational program of what we do here at Blue Side Adventures. So you've got the first 4 weeks are really about learning yourself, understanding trauma, how the brain works. And the really big part is working with the autonomic nervous system. So when we work with the foundation, I have my own philosophy for doing this is discovery, action, and momentum. So the first section is really this discovery part where you're learning what's going on, and understanding what's going on. So let's just say you're in week 2. You click into week 2, and they're short daily practices. And so day 1, let's say we're going into day 1, that's your meditation and box breathing, and then you'll click and you'll do the class. So you'll hit the video, and then there's usually a write-up with it. There's a download that's associated with it. So if you want to follow along and you're somebody that likes, following written content, I've got all that in there for you. And that's really how you go through this. And the way that I do it is that each day has something, and it's not really, really long classes. And the reason behind that is I really want to show that going through your back home journey doesn't take hours and hours and hours of practice a day. It really just takes 3 to 5 minutes, or however long the class ends up being. And that's what we're building into our daily practice and our daily habits as you go through life. So by the end of the 12 weeks and you've done something little every single day, you'll be able to learn that you are putting in that self-care into your daily routine. So that's really the part of that. So let me go back to the other sections here, back to my dashboard, course by week. So that's how the courses, or that's how the weeks kind of shape up. So that the foundation of Discover is weeks 1 through 4, then weeks 5 through 8 are action, and you start really taking the action during those weeks to help understand and help the neuroplasticity in the brain and how to work the mind so that we start to recover from some of the things that we've discovered in the discovery phase. And these weeks are all set up very similar to the daily lessons. So you'll have a different meditation about alcohol, sleep, and that's just an example of one of the weeks and stuff that you go through. And then as we go through our last momentum week, weeks 9 through 12, that's really where we learn how to take what we've learned and go outward with it. So we'll talk about a session of, how do we deal with others, emotional intelligence, so that we can. So I wanted to show you the course and how the course works. And like I was saying before, anybody that goes through the course, even if you're just doing the online journey session with me, and we'll either work on yoga, we'll either work on meditation, we'll work on, something that is really relevant to what's going on, and we'll have different sharing for a minute so I can see you all again. I should be back. Oh, you're saying I just noticed. So hopefully that's saved and it's not blank, but I am going to share my screen again. So hopefully we'll get that going. If it's not, I will do another fix, and I'll be able to show you all the community in a different platform. But okay, so the journey and the community are only open for new members until January 1st. So if you're looking to do an online journey only, not one of the adventures, the Back Home Online program is what you want to go for. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have regarding that. And we can, even do one-on-one discussions and get you in that group and see which part of the journey is right for you on that. So look at the chat here. Hi, Ellery. Good to see you. Glad you're here. So now let me talk a little bit about our adventures that are coming up. So I am going to try to share my screen again. And if someone that is live can tell me if you see that, because it says it's sharing my tab. So I am going to roll with that for a minute, and then I'll keep checking. It looks like it's there. Okay, awesome. Hi, Michelle. So glad you're here. Yay. All right, cool. Okay, so let's talk about our online adventure, or our actual big adventure. So To get to these, you are going to go to bluesideyoga.com/adventures. And I just wanted to show you how to get to where the spring journeys are. And so, as I just said, we start this particular program specific date, which I'll talk about later, but that means the team is formed by January. So January 1st is when this team comes together and we start doing the program together. And then we celebrate in May by going on whichever adventure that we want to go on. So what you can expect out of us is an adventure specifically for our team. We're going to experience local Nepali culture. We've got so much action packed in every single one of our adventures that you'll never be bored, I promise. And then before you even get there, you have a private online adventure community, which I'll show you in a minute here. The back home journey, that's the program that I just talked about. So you'll be able to work through that program before we go together on the journey. And then a mountain 16-week workout plan specifically designed for your trekking experience. And even if your adventure is not a trekking adventure, you still get this program, because I really think that, getting into shape and getting into your best condition for coming on this adventure is just going to make it so much more enjoyable. So it's a $500 deposit to lock in your spot on the team, and that is non-refundable. Just trying to throw all the stuff out there. So you'll go to choose your adventure, and these are the ones that we have coming up for this spring. So the first one is Himalayan. We're going back to the Annapurna region this year, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. The duration of this trek is so it starts from May. Just had to switch. So the Annapurna, I'll go through the itinerary with you here, but like I said before, you get access to the pre-adventure resources, which I'll show you in a minute, the back home program, the mountain athlete program. And once you get to Nepal with us, you get an eco-friendly yoga mat, and they're absolutely beautiful. They're all natural, handmade, and they're from a local Nepali company, so we love to support local there. You get your big adventure duffel bag, and you get to keep that, so those are always fun. You get your personal adventure workbook and journal, and then an exclusive mala from Mala for Vets, designed specifically for Blue Side Adventures. And so when you click download the itinerary, you can download this and you can go through things as, let me see if that actually is going to show up. So you can go to the website and download this, and you can figure out and see what you're doing on a daily basis here with the back home Annapurna trek. Like I said, it's 8 days. Here's all the information here. This is just an overview of your itinerary, and just like anything in Nepal, things can change on a moment's basis. But so just to go through a quick overview. So day 1 is when you arrive in Nepal. Day 2, we will be flying to Pokhara, which is a very short flight in Nepal. And trust me, you are going to want to do the flight. For those that drove with us last year, we made the decision on anything Pokhara will be flying, because it's a very, very long bus drive. And then day 3, we drive to Biratani, and then we start our trek. So that's about a 2-hour drive, no big deal. And then we have 3 solid days of trekking. So the highlight of your day, of your trip here, is the hill, where you'll get to see the beautiful mountains like this one here, which is Mataputri, which is Fishtail Mountain. So really, really fun trek, and not a crazy amount of time on the trail, but it's a nice mix because you get to see Nepal, you get to trek for a bit. And this one also doesn't go to really crazy high altitudes like we do on the Everest side of things. So like I said, you can download this, breeze through it at your own pace, but it goes through every single day of our activities and what you can expect from our journey. So we'll just keep scrolling down here. And then I have, of course, nothing is ever hidden from what we do. So at the end of this booklet, you'll see everything that's included, and then how our booking and confirmation terms and conditions go. And this is stuff for Blue Side Adventures and also for Advanced Adventures Nepal, because they're the Nepali side that we work with. Your visa requirements, passports, travel information, insurance. And I know it looks like a lot right now, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly how I walk you through all of this to get you ready for your trip. But when you have gone through, you can even go through and join Team Annapurna by clicking here, and it'll take you to the checkout page so you can do your deposit. So that's an easy win for when you are ready to do your trip to Everest region. So I'm going to stop sharing here, come back to everybody. Let's see if we have. Hi, everybody. Yay, I'm so glad to see. Fantastic. All right. So overlanding adventure, which is going to be totally new this year. So it's going to be really fun to have a vehicle adventure and not just trekking. So this is streaming, right? Yep, it looks like it. Go back. Okay, so our Nepal and Tibet overlanding tour. This one is, I'm so excited for this because not only are we going to a new country, so you get to see Nepal and you get to see Tibet, but we're going to Mount Everest on the Tibet side. So we go to Everest Base Camp on the Tibet side via vehicle. Super cool. So this is a 15-day tour. This is May 15th through the 29th. Same thing, your non-refundable deposit is $500. This one is $4,500. And I know that's a lot more expensive than the other. Couple of reasons. It's a longer tour, first of all. We're going by vehicle, so we're not on leather personnel carriers. And the other thing is Tibet is really expensive to visit. The visas cost through the roof on that kind of stuff. So they make it a bit difficult for us to go visit. So hence the cost is more expensive on that one. But the highlights of that is seeing Nepal and into Tibet, where we go to Everest Camp on the Tibet side. We're going to go to a lot of culture. This is the trip for you because we're doing culture on the Nepali and Tibetan sides. And then we get to go see for palace in Tibet, which is a pretty big deal. You get the things as the other trip that I just talked about. So your pre-adventure resources, your back home program, and the mountain athlete training program. And I really suggest that you take the mountain athlete training program seriously, even though we aren't trekking, because we're going up to 17,000 feet. So the better in cardio shape that you are, just for breathing in general, is going to really help you enjoy this trip more. And we should have the workbook or the itinerary up. So same sort of format. You can download this and review it, check it out, see what you like. It's got the dates. We limit our spots on any team to only 10. And then the cost, like I said before, $4,500. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this one. Tibet makes it a bit expensive. So here's just an overview of how it works. You're going to arrive in Kathmandu on day one. We've got basically 2 solid days of sightseeing in Nepal, and then we've built in a free day in Nepal. So there's a lot of things that we can do on that free day. If you want to hit up yoga classes in Kathmandu, I've recently linked up with a sound healer, so we can do private sound healing sessions. Like we can book a cooking class. Like there's so many cool things that we can just do with your free day. Or you can just take a free day. Like we have a lot of stuff going on. So maybe you just want to rest or go to the spa or something that day. Day 5, we start our drive. So Kathmandu, all the way to the border. And then most of these, you're going to get more information from the description, of course, instead of just seeing it. But it's an overlanding trip. So we're driving basically every day. But the highlights are, day 7, where we go to Tibet Everest Base Camp. Then seeing lots of different monasteries. Lhasa, so we've got 2 full days in Lhasa, which is a huge deal. And then we'll be we'll be flying from Lhasa to Kathmandu. And then your departure day from Kathmandu is day 15. So just to kind of go through again, I'm not going to read all the description for you. If this is a trip that is really interesting for you and you want to do this, then definitely download this itinerary and see what just see what every day brings. It's pretty exciting. So some suggestions for your free day in Kathmandu. So that Everest Base Camp, that's going to be amazing to see from the Tibet side. And then just the amount of culture in different areas that we're going to see in Tibet is going to be really, really exciting. Forbidden City. Sorry, guys, I know I'm going quickly through this, but I just don't want to sit here and read stuff to you, and I know that's what you can do. So same thing as the other tour. Here's the stuff that is included. Make sure you read all of that really carefully. The other thing that I want to caution is that if you are still active duty or you're still military or you work for the government, keep in mind that Tibet is technically China. So if you think that that's going to have any issue with your job, let's have a discussion on this before you throw down a $500 non-refundable deposit for something that may not accommodate your job or may just not be a good idea. So again, I just want to throw all that stuff out there before you do something like that. Confirmations, payments, all that kind of visas, passports, travel, insurance. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. And again, same way you can go ahead and join the team. I'll update that hyperlink because I don't see it there. And then you can join the team from that way. So that is our Tibet trip. Let's see what else that I wanted to show you. So I did want to show you the pre-adventure resources that we have. So whenever you decide you're going to come with us, you get access to the adventure planning series. And this is where, so we do our meetups every month, but we will talk about every single piece of pre-adventure you need to do before you actually come to Nepal or Tibet. So you'll have access to this, but we'll walk you through the insurance that's required. And then also Blue Side Adventures and Global Rescue have we're partners together. That's the word I'm looking for. So we have Global Rescue has everything covered for us that we need, and which is great that they've partnered with me. So that makes life a lot easier when you're looking around for insurance. And we talk about all of that in our monthly talks with our group. And then national flight planning trips. I mean, we'll talk about how to get your flights, what's the best routes to get over there, passport and visa requirements. I'll walk you through the process on that. I have a packing list for each of our groups that are going. We talk about travel medicine and water purification and altitude sickness. And then I talk about currency and tipping because one of the big questions that we always get is how much money should we be bringing? So that is sharing there. So that's how we help get you ready for the planning side of going to Nepal. And then let's see if I have this one more. I wanted to show you what this 16-week workout program looks like. So let me see if I can share that screen. And share. Let's see if this works. Man, everything is working. I'm liking this. So I'm actually going to transfer this to your online library, but I just wanted to give you an example of what the 16-week mountain athlete program looks like. So you get guided to being able to comfortably hike 10 miles. And when you go through these, every day it'll be set up similarly to the back home journey, but each day will have a task for you to do for your workout. So you'll have a rest day, one day a week. The next day, hike, and I explain all of this, don't worry. But it would be a hike in heart rate zone 2, and it would only be 1 mile. And then you would do a core strength workout that I have linked to that. Same, and then you just follow day 3, it'd be zone 1, so slower pace, 2.5 miles, and do a stretch mobility class. So you just kind of follow the whole program here. So it'll get you through your early base training. Then we do some volume progression training, and things get a little bit more intense. And then we'll do some more endurance and volume. So when you get into, the third week, like weeks 9 through 12, you'll start getting into some higher mileage. And it should be great because we're getting into the spring at that point. But what you end up doing is your highest day is 10 miles. And then you have a rest week before you head over to Nepal. So that's how the Mountain Athlete Program works. Go back. And see if I can stop sharing. Thanks for hanging with me on this, guys. Let's just close the window, see what happens. I should be back. Okay, cool. So that is the highlights of all of the online journey, the community, our 2 spring journeys, the adventure planning series, our 16-week mountain athlete, like so many things. And I'm so thankful that you all are here. I really hope that you want to join one of the journeys. If you can't, we have a fantastic online community where we do all the fun stuff. And the really big difference that I just really want to highlight, there's so many of these adventures and these retreats that are out there for veterans and first responders. And the difference that we have between what we do at Blue Side Adventures and just going to a retreat or just going on an adventure is the community that we build during our 12-week online journey, and really, really getting to the root of fixing, the mindfulness stuff, and really addressing our service-related stress, and really getting our minds in the right way to living back home. And that's why I call it the Back Home program. And then the journey is about, the celebration and all the hard work that we've done together. Be online together doing this throughout the time before we go on that journey. So that's the difference between, just going on a veterans and first responder retreat and doing a Blue Side adventure. Let me see the chat real quick. Okay, if you cannot make the spring adventures but want to join the fall one, drop dead date on those. Okay, yeah, so you'll probably see in the adventures that I do have a fall one that's already open. It's for Everest Base Camp. There's so much information, so I was just focusing on spring ones here. The one is October, so our drop dead date for that one is going to be time, and I'll do another live and we can talk about that one. But yeah, so I'll just add that in the chat for your answer there, Ellery. But yeah, so July sometime will be for the fall ones, and then there will be more that are coming up for Colorado only, and those will be summertime. So that'll be a drop dead date of probably spring, so maybe April timeframe. But I got to get with my other partner, Defined by Adventure, and we got to get those Colorado dates up. But for Nepal, everything for next year is on my adventure site. Spring trips close January 1st. The fall one will be sometime in July. And I think that is all I have for now. I like to stick these for about 30 minutes because I know we all have things to do, and it's, holiday season and all that kind of fun stuff. But I hope you found this informative and helpful, and please share with your friends. And as I hinted, if you saw my email, a special gift for you for joining one of these trips. So I am offering, if you join for our spring trips, $100 off for you and $100 off for a friend. And that doesn't expire. So, so basically, and again, any questions, I'll keep monitoring the chat. Let's see, we got another question. Is it better to go in the fall versus the spring? So the fall, there's really no better time. The time that we're going is going to be a really nice time where the weather is, going to be pretty decent. It's well before monsoon season. and it warms up pretty quickly there. And because we're going to the Annapurna region, the altitudes the elevation's a bit lower. So it's not going to be really, really cold. So Enrique, I hope that helps answer your question. Fall versus spring. So it's kind of different. Like, do you want to see blooming plants or do you want to see a bit more fall? So, and then really the Everest one in the fall, we see some color changes, but we're such high altitudes, we're not going to see too much, fall foliage. So weather's been good in the fall the last couple of times we went. So crossing my fingers for good weather again. Hope that helps answer your question. And so I'm not seeing any more questions come up. So cool. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, send me an email. You can send me a message, Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Reply to the emails that I send out. Those go right back to me. So just remember that this is for the spring stuff. We're only open until January 1st. And the reason behind that is because we start our group sessions and our group preparations on January 8th. So that's the start date for all of that stuff. So cool. Thank you all for tuning in on International Mountain Day. And I think I'm going to go have some birthday cake now. Bye, everybody.